Blog Talk Radio.
Yay! Okay, I couldn't remember whether or not I set up the intro to play or not. Y'all know it's a battle between me and the intro. So, happy Tuesday. It is a Hot Seat Tuesday, and you are listening to Define You Radio Classes in Session, where you get the life lessons, strategies, and Lord have mercy, so much more to teach you how to define life on your own terms. I am your host, the Southern Belle of Bold, Valencia-Griffin-Wallace, and of course, the Hot Seat Queens have joined us tonight. Lyvonne and Shannon, y'all queens want to say hey to the audience.
Good evening, audience.
Y'all be so cute sometimes. But one of the things like I'm really excited about, besides tonight's show, and we're about to pop off, okay? We're about to pop off it shortly. But one of the things I'm really excited about is that our international listenership, if that's a word, y'all know I make up my own words, okay, has went up. Like in the United States, our current listenership is like at 77%, and normally it's like 80 and above, and the rest of that percentage, so you just do 100 minus 77, okay? It's spread out against various countries. So, hey, I'm available. Wallace.com. Have a passport, will travel.
I know that's right.
So I definitely want to, give a shout out and thank all of our international listeners, and make sure you're definitely connected and subscribed to Define You Radio on Facebook, because we have so much action going on. Like I said, tonight's show is going to pop off, okay? It's going to be interesting. We have a mixture or a gumbo of queens tonight. We are excited to welcome on, because y'all know last couple of weeks we've been featuring and talking about the Atlanta Black Theater Festival for several reasons, because it's like awesome. I'm going to be there. If I could cut these carbs right, I'm going to be there and fabulous. If not, I'm going to be there and still fabulous, okay? Shannon's going to be there. I don't know if Shannon told the public. I just told the public. I don't know if you announced that or not. And Lyvonne. Okay, Lyvonne, we're 99.9% sure it's going to be there. We're going to drag her there by the crown if need be. I said that last show. I love her. Hopefully I get the gospel Lyvonne response, not the gangster. But we have Project Light. Now, that name alone kind of just tells you what you're about to experience. That sounded so professional. I'm proud of me sometimes. So,
sounded awesome.
I know, right? It did. So this is an exciting night. So I'm going to go ahead and welcome the queens on from Project Light. Ladies, if you would like to go ahead and introduce yourself, and we will start with Miss JRenee.
Hey, audience, how are you? Hi, Queen Valencia and the other queens. I am JRenee. First of all, I am so excited to be here right now. Like, you should see me. I'm buzzing and lighting. So who is JRenee? I am a part of Project Light, and if I were to describe myself, I say that I am a creative expressionist. I love telling stories, and so sometimes that story is a poem, it's a narration, it's music, it might be the way I put my food on my plate, and it might be what outfit I'm wearing, but I think from head to toe I am a storyteller and a truth teller, and I'm part of this group to help kind of give women a voice, to help them open up, to help them unstick the stuck places, and that's me. That's JRenee.
Yes. I don't know if y'all can hear me in the back, but I am snapping. Like, that's a 2 snap. Okay? And,
that's what that was.
It's me snapping. Like, one day, I promise, audience. I don't know when. Maybe it's a 2019 goal. Y'all stick with us another year, but y'all been around since 2016. Y'all ain't going nowhere. We in a long-term relationship here. But
did she just turn it in and tell them they can't quit her?
They can't quit you.
The fatal attraction. But we may start going live on Facebook or in Instagram and wherever like that as we do the show. But I'm scared that people are going to see like what I really do while I'm on here sounding professional.
I know that's right.
When y'all don't hear me, sometimes I'm eating carbs. Sometimes I'm in here with my bandana or other action. So, Miss Denell, did I say that correctly? Tell us,
yes,
tell the audience about you.
I am Denell Porche, and I am a lover of the arts. I coin myself as a creative visionary, and I too love to tell stories, but I also like to bring people together to tell stories. And I love collectives, and I love bringing folks together, especially women, to inspire, because we are in a place, an environment right now that is calling for that action. So I am stepping up and saying, hey, let's do this. So I so vocalist, author, and I always say I'm possible. And if I'm possible, all other women are possible. So I am Denell Porche.
Jesus, I love that.
Yes.
You have them wrote down.
Yes.
Wait, I have questions. You have them wrote down because it just flowed. I have questions.
I did not look. I said, "Oh, let me see what comes up." I said, because sometimes you gotta listen to that internal and be impromptu, like practice that impromptu muscle. So yeah.
But no, but like seriously, because from now on, when I do interviews or anything I do, I'm gonna, when people say, "Tell me about you," I'm gonna tell them about me, and then I'm gonna close it like, "And I am the Southern Belle of
right.
Valencia-Griffin."
That's right.
That's like drop that.
It adds
to
the
punctuation and walk away.
Yeah, that's how you have to do it. At some point you have to start claiming what it is, and don't let me get on this soapbox, but claiming what you would like to define you as, like. You define radio. You claim that. And it's just like, and it'll come. Yes. So, look, let me stop. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
If y'all listen to the last show, y'all know I said Jesus about like 10 times. I don't know. But it was, and I ain't no telling how many times I'm going to say it in this show. But I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to say my name first. Say who I am, what I do, and then I'm going to close out with my name. And I'm going to drop the mic and walk away. I don't care what I'm doing. That's it. That's it. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it at the movie experience, which I do expect to see everybody in NOLA in New Orleans November 10th, okay? I promise I'm not going to get on the stage at the event and do that and drop the mic and walk away. However, it's not set in concrete, and you never know. Miss Kamaria, Queen Kamaria,
yes.
Did I say that correctly? Yes.
Yes, it is. Okay. Kamaria Sauda. I am more of the vocalist of the group. Both of them are vocalists, but I don't define myself as a poetess. I guess I believe in telling stories through song and touching people through song. My daily job is as a music therapist, so I definitely believe in the power of music and want to share that with people through the power of music, share with people the power of music and how it can heal in so many ways.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That was are you the calm one of the bunch?
I am.
That is so funny.
Because it could be a front now. It could be a front. It could be a front.
No, she is definitely the calm one as a group.
You can tell.
There had to be one.
You can tell she's the calm one, just like I'm the calm one, Valencia. It's me. Right.
Audience,
Yeah,
especially if this is your first. If this is your first time listening to Define You Radio, please go back and listen to old episodes and let us know what you think if Shannon is the calm one on Define You Radio's Facebook page.
You know what, Valencia?
Yes,
I was
ma'am.
going to say listening to them three and, looking at their stories because, I like to do the research. So
yes.
just reading their bios and looking at their stories, I would say she would represent Shannon.
Thank you.
JRenee, is it JRenee or
wait?
Renee?
Who said thank you? Because you, Kamaria, you said thank you. Because you
No, that wasn't me.
That was Shannon.
I was about to say because Shannon the baby of the bunch, and you know how the youngest always act.
But they have a lot in common. I think they have a lot in common, and I think she's like Shannon. She appears to be the quiet one, but she's like that silent little storm that will just pop off like Shannon usually does, when she gets that feeling.
Yes.
Yes,
This is Denell,
that
and
has
I
to
will
never
confirm
happen.
exactly what she's saying.
Don't let that fool you.
You said that's the truth.
Do not let that fool you. Look, she do balance us out because we can be very, very broad, but don't let her fool you. We will bring her into our madness. That's what we do. So,
see, I told you.
See,
I
LyVonne does her research. That's what I love about her. I had the pleasure of talking to you queens on the phone, and LyVonne, like, her questions will be very, very, very LyVonne. And then Shannon's going to randomly pop off probably. And then I'm going to pass the mic to LyVonne, but one of the things I wanted to ask, like, how did y'all meet? Like, how did Project Light come together to become the Lightresses?
that's a very good question.
Yes, it is.
Who wants to take that one?
I will start.
That is Denell's answer.
I was studying with a vocal coach, and Denell was studying with the same one, and we met at a voice recital and exchanged numbers, and from there she was determined that she was going to be my friend. Because I am a little bit, reserved, and she's quite the opposite. So she came to me with several different things. Some worked out, and some didn't work out, and this one has. So, yes. And I met JRenee through Denell.
That is...
JRenee, you gonna share how I met you, or you want me to share?
How we met? Well, Denell and I met. I am by profession a physical therapist. Passion, I'm a storyteller, but by profession, I'm a physical therapist. And one day I was just up on the floors, and this person was like, they came to me and said, you have to meet this nurse that's here. You guys are twins. You are just the same. Like, we both rock in the locks. We both do poetry. We might both break out in spontaneous song. And so we met, and it truly was like, wow, just even seeing her now again, I didn't think we looked anything alike, but our personalities and our spirits were the same, honestly. And she just kind of, without even knowing me, I think it might have been a month or two after we met, she's like, I'm doing this thing, and I want to know, can you come and present? And so I was like, okay. And for a while, we were all just going to do separate things. She had asked Kamaria to sing something. She had asked me to do a poem. And then kind of halfway through it, she's like, oh, I'm kind of feeling us doing something together. And again, us not really knowing each other, I was thinking to myself, how's this going to vibe? Not sure. But it just did. And so when people meet us, they think we've known each other for years. We've known each other for 2 years. That's it. And, in the life of womanhood and sisterhood, that's not a long time, really. I mean, you've got people you know since you were in kindergarten. I met this young lady 2 years ago, and it just blossomed from there. We didn't have a name yet, but we were just presenting our separate gifts together and realized, this thing was pretty good. So, Denell, though, but how we got to be Lightresses, you probably have that story better than I do.
So it was one of those things where I was just like, okay, because, again, as the story has been told from two different perspectives, it was just like I call things downloads. Like when I get like a vision in my head or a dream, I say, oh, I got a download. And so in meeting JRenee on the floor, I loved her personality and her spirit. And it was just like when I got familiar with her and stuff like that, I was like, oh, yeah. And then it was with Kamaria. Kamaria always said yes to me. And I'd just be like, hey, Kamaria, you want to come do this? And I would, like, give her an idea and kind of run off because I was like, oh, you know, is she going to take it? Is she going to bite it? And it was like, it was something that did not pan through. But it all to advance us to where 2016 we were at an event, and yes, everybody presented individually, but 2017, we came up with this idea, and I was like, hey, do you guys want to present something, and it be where we tell a story? And I was like, I don't know exactly what it'll be, but it's like there's a women's initiative, and this is what we would be doing, and it just came together with, like, ease and flow. And literally the performance we did in 2017, we literally had 8 weeks because I was like, I wonder if they would want to do something again like this, right? And they said yes, and it was, like, received. So think of this particular play. It originally was like a performance. It was like a presentation, and it has evolved since January to a play. So the reason why we are called the Lightresses is because we all as women carry a light, and sometimes we either have forgotten, we have never known, and we do not know how to access that. So with the word Project Light, it was just like, okay, I think this is a beautiful title because, again, sometimes we have to look at it as projects, as work in progress, right? And that, okay, let's affirm. So how do we affirm? Okay, Project Light. Because, again, as we present on stage, as we go our day-to-day, we are always presenting our light if we're willing and ready. And so then it was just like as we continue to work on the script, the Lightresses, I was just like, well, you know, we have our stuff individually that we go through and that we have this team of sisters that come together. So it's it came up as an endearment or a sign of respect. Hello, Lightress, how are you doing today? Lightress K, what's going on with you? And I could call you, you know, Lightress Valencia, how are you this morning? It is a title of endearment. And so we started using it, and it just grew from there. And so, again, it's a sign of respect, but it's also to honor the light that's within and to raise your vibration higher. So that's why that came. And I was like, yeah, I'm about to make up some words because I like to make up words. And so there we are.
It might not be in the dictionary, but that's what we are.
But we started calling ourselves that, and it just blossomed from there. And it has just been this, you know, ebb and flow between the three of us. And it has been, that's why I know it's orchestrated, I know it's ordained, and I know that it's going to be impactful. So, yeah, so that's how we came up with the name The Lightresses, and we've carried it ever since.
Jesus.
I'm going to start keeping count, Queen Valencia.
Keep count.
I'm going to keep all Jesus count.
I want to be a lightress. Nah, I can't sing.
Hey,
let me rephrase it.
You are.
I can't sing, and some people might say I can't sing either. That don't stop me from trying. Shannon has experienced this firsthand, and she stayed my friend. With that being said, Queen Shannon, I know you had a question to pop off tonight.
I did. First, let me say, the energy from you three Lightresses is amazing. I love it. And Denell, I listened to Rescue Me. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You did?
Listen, the vibe is just like, yes, like just laid back. I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Okay.
So, yes, I got it saved in my SoundCloud. Yes, ma'am.
That's beautiful.
So now my question, because we've done a show a while back about women, and women always and especially in this day and age, the competition that women always feel they need to be in with each other. And with Project Light, from what I've read and going through your website and watching your YouTube video, it's more, for Project Light, it's more of let's abolish that part of it. So how exactly do you speak to that in women to let them know, hey, we don't have to compete. We can all live together and push each other to our light?
Say it. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I like that. Well, I think it has to start with really you got to begin like with the peeling back of layers. I think so many times we don't intend to compete, but it can appear that way as women because we're all kind of putting on this front. I'm not saying everybody, but sometimes when you come in a situation and you're not quite sure, because I can even say, you have a little bit of a wall up because of what society has told us we're supposed to be to one another. And in actuality, if you kind of just begin peeling back the layers and really ask yourself, well, why do I feel this way around this person? 9 times out of 10, it's something in you, that's uncomfortable. So that's what we're saying. We want to be that sisterhood. We want to be that group, that initiative that says, listen, hey, I'm not here to show you that I'm better than you. I'm actually going to be that sister that if I can't pull you up from somewhere, I'm going to sit down beside you and listen to what's going on. And so a lot of times, we want to be supported. It starts there. So it starts not even comparing stories. I think, again, we get into that and say, oh, well, this happened to me and that happened. No, it's not a comparison. It's you looking in yourself and peeling back your own layers, and it makes you appreciate. It starts with the appreciation, I believe, of your sister and appreciation of who she is and who she was created to be, and then being able to identify the fact that you are equally as worthy. You are equally as valuable. You as an individual are equally as important. And so we all now understanding our own value, no need to compete. You're only, if you want to say competition is yourself if you're going to compete with something. But to say, oh, wow, I recognize this in my sister, and so now I can be open. I can admit we probably, even us all three meeting when we first met, it wasn't that initial, like how we do now. I mean, we hug up on each other and we would probably violate one another's space a lot. When we first met, no, it wasn't like that. We really, truly, and I never thought I'd be able to find, true sisterhood like this, because I have on my own, in my own personal life, a twin sister. And so, I'm thinking, nothing's going to beat that bond. But these girls, these ladies, these women, I treat them as my sister because we've experienced a peeling back. We've experienced each other's layers. We've seen some layers come off in these last 2 years, and I think it just makes you trust a little bit more.
I think coming from a place of love also is so important.
Yeah.
Showing love. There's a lot of people that don't want to do that. They don't even want to say it, but saying I love you and really meaning it and showing it goes a long way to supporting each other as well.
And I would like to add, it's also one of those things where how is it that you would like to show up for yourself? Because in the act of showing up for yourself and you being reflective in how you show up for yourself, you can show up for others in a way that is loving, that is vulnerable, that is appreciative. And I had the same teacher that Kamaria and I had for a period of time. There was a time where I did a recital, and there was a shift for me because I would get nervous before performing versus, like, using that energy. And so it was one point where there was us doing the recital, and at that point in time, I looked at everybody who was getting up there and performing, and we all just desire to share our story. We all desire to be in space to shine as bright as we can be. So for me, that changed because I was like, everyone has a story. There's no competition. And for me, it's like with everyone, including the Lightresses, including you, everybody who's on this panel, we have something to offer. And there's many parts. There's only one body. And I truly believe that. You can find that in any just literature. There's many parts, but there's one body. And so if you begin to understand and respect the many parts and the different thoughts that come with people, man, you can create a whole different experience. And they have been my practice. And I love these ladies. I would do far and beyond for these ladies because they have allowed me the space to not only grow, but to explore myself. And I hope and pray that that's something that they have been able to experience as well. But that's what it's about.
Mhm. Awesome. That is awesome.
Shannon and LaVonne, I appreciate y'all that much too. Like, I feel like I need to say something.
Well, y'all know I love y'all. Y'all my big sisters. I told y'all stuck with me, so yeah, it is what it is.
Everything that she said that these queens have, the queen lightresses have shared and just said about their love for each other, I feel that way about y'all, at least on Tuesdays.
Right.
I cannot.
Oh my God.
Tonight. I cannot.
No.
But no, it's been a process. Everything has been a process. And when it comes to times where there has to be a discussion, a serious discussion, I would think, it's being able to listen and being respectful and giving everyone in this space a space to share. Because, you're valuable. You're important. So I desire to hear your perspective because, again, I might not see it the way you see it. And that might be a great thing because, again, it's all eyes on this, and especially when you're focused on an intention as well as growing something and prospering, and all our skills is, on the line and leaving it on the table. So it's that community that's being built, and it's been a love affair that I have really enjoyed up until this point. So yeah. Mhm.
That's like, I love that. I also love that you said that y'all only kind of known each other just for 2 years, and people make time. Like we put things in a time perspective, whether it's an hour or so on and so forth. But if you feelings, connections, memories, those things, you really can't put a time on it. It's hard to put a time on it because it seems like they were always there. So it feels natural. Like some connections just feel like they've been there before you, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Look, that was professional. I'm just I'm
you're doing your thing.
Queen,
you are doing yourself tonight.
She must have had that honey bun, Shannon.
I had 3 cups of coffee.
There it is.
I had 3 cups of coffee.
3 cups of
Queen
coffee.
LaVonne.
Oh my God.
All black, because I don't put sugar or nothing in my coffee. True.
Oh God.
Queen LaVonne.
Again, I just have to say, you ladies, truly rock. I am loving the conversation, and like Valencia said, so much of what you're saying, it resonates because it feels like how our relationship is. Being able, we've been together less than a year, but it works. It works. But so I appreciate it. It just lets me know that we're not the only set of crazy triplets out there.
There you go.
So we flow. But I do have a question because it is, y'all are so like us. I have a question. I was reading you all are going to be a part of the Atlanta Festival. I am so super excited. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get there. But a Journey to Unrevealed Love by Project Light. Yeah. Just reading what the synopsis here is like, oh my God, I have to see this. But I want to know, when you all are presenting, when the audience at the end, lights come back on, everyone is sitting there, what do you want to leave your audience with? What do you want them to walk away with?
Well, I really want them to understand that we're hoping that during the play they'll see that we're on a journey. And I'm hoping that at least one aspect of that journey will resonate with someone, that they'll be able to identify, like, yes, okay, this is the space where I am right now. This is where I'm going. And understand that they're not going to stay in that space, that in a lifetime, even in a day, you might journey through several spaces. In the play, we create what we call space or energy for a few different emotions, a few different things that happen in your life. And I can give those to you without really giving the play away, but we go through energy in space of grief, and energy in space of love, and an energy in space of affirmation, and then illumination. And so we're hoping that people, man, woman, no matter what race you are, no matter your sexual orientation, will be able to sit there, and at the very end, when the light comes on, they can say, oh, my gosh, that's where I was right at the beginning when Angie said this or that. I was right there. That's where I am right now. Now I can identify this feeling or something that I wasn't able to identify before. So we want people to be able, well, I know I do, be able to identify their own journey. Wow. Be able to identify how to get through maybe that space or that energy in the journey. It might have been a little tough, but how to deal with it, how to cope with it, feel empowered in whatever stage of the journey they're on. Not feel like, oh, man, I'm stuck, but to know, hey, I'm going to get through this. That's kind of what I'm feeling.
Yeah. Well, for me, go ahead. Go ahead, Kamaria.
No, go ahead.
Okay. It was for me, the takeaway is that I want everyone in the audience to know that they matter. Mm-hmm. Every bit of them, from the top of their head to every cell, to everything that they exude, to everything that they have second-guessed about themselves, you matter. And when you walk away from this play, you are at a point of choice. You can leave from this play after the play to either do something different or continue to be in the same manner. It's your choice. You have choice. And that you can do something different with your life if you would like to experience something different. You hold that. You are the light. Nobody's light is bigger than somebody else's. You hold that. To be empowered enough to know that you matter. And that there's something here on this earth that is asking of you. There's something on here that's asking. But are you willing and are you ready to step up and know that you matter? Whatever you've gone through, whatever it is that you've experienced, and it's not demeaning any of that, but that you matter and you are present right now and you can choose differently. That is what I would like for people to take away from Project Light, and to be so inspired that they will go out there and do their work and smile. Because you made it to the other side. Yeah.
I think for me, it's, sometimes we have a lot of negative self-talk, and I'm hoping that there will be a shift in those people who come with, a lot of negative self-talk, and shift to something positive. I am whatever it is that they find positive in themselves, to be able to find some positivity and shift from that negativity. That's what I feel like I hope that they can take away from our show.
Great question.
Because I know we just jumped straight in, because I've read, so I kind of knew what the synopsis was. But for our audience, our listening audience that may not have heard about the Atlanta Black Theater Festival that's happening, or they may not have heard, looked and saw, did the research to see who was performing. Will you tell them a little bit about the play and what? Take us a little bit behind the scenes. Give them an idea of what they're going to be in for.
Okay, well, first of all, we are so honored to have been chosen to be in the Atlanta Black Theater Festival. I mean, just on the outset, it is like one of the largest, if not the largest, theater festival for Black voices and Black stories. So definitely honored and definitely grateful to the festival, to the board, to you all. So, A Journey to Unrevealed Love. Behind the scenes, there's that long synopsis that you read, and then I say the short synopsis is an unpacking of your past, your present, your future, to try to figure out why it is, like Kamaria said, that you're having this negative self-talk. What is affecting your walk? What is affecting your choice? And so the fun part of it is it's a story about these three women. They knew each other in college. They were part of a singing group, and they haven't seen each other for years. So, they've been keeping up with one another. You look and you see if your friend is social media happy, so they know what they're doing with each other on Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff. But finally in their lives, they're able to meet at their girlfriend's house. The three of them are going to get together after like 20, 25 years or so, and they're going to just lay it all out on the line. And, I think in the synopsis somewhere it says about the wine flows, and so too do the stories. And so, they're not getting crazy drunk or anything, but, you get a little laid back and you start revealing things about yourself.
That must be white wine, because red wine.
It might be a little Moscato. You know how we do sometimes. And so, they really do. We tackle some serious topics, but it is going to be funny as well. I mean, it's just how life is. I mean, sometimes you have to laugh at things, and in humor we bring out the truth, and in humor sometimes we bring out hurt. But the play is made up of songs. It is made up of monologues and poetry that, as Denell said before, this started out as a performance piece, and it really was individual poems that we had written that we kind of brought together with some of Kamaria's beautiful song and songwriting, that now we added this story to it. So the women will weave in and out. You know how sometimes you get an August Wilson play, and it's dialogue, and then all of a sudden it's this great monologue. So we're going to have our conversations with one another, and every once in a while a beautiful monologue ensues so you can hear the inner voice of a specific character. And it's fun. They have a good time. They have a good time.
I feel JRenee, she explained it perfectly. So I love when she tells our story. I'm just like, girl, talk. Yes. No, it is sum that up.
Thank you, Queen Lightresses and Lyvonne and Shannon, for y'all just so thorough. Like, I could sit back and just listen and act like I'm in the audience, because I'm enjoying the energy or the energy and the light that's coming through the vibes of the show tonight. I'm very excited about being in the building. And I did say, I may sing on the singing parts.
Hey, nice.
I may not know the words, but
we can make sure we get you a lyric sheet now.
Girl,
please, because we don't want them loud and wrong.
She said, please don't.
Y'all starting some mess.
I know.
I was just playing, but it just got serious.
She's like, oh, no.
Right.
She's getting ready to start warming up her voice.
Look, how you know?
A tea and all.
Some tea and whatever people
get some lemon and honey.
Some warm water. I'm gonna start doing Facebook Live singing. Is the play based on a true story?
A lot of it is.
I know. It's like, should we say? You got to remember, who's going to be there. I think what you will see is that, especially the pieces, we did, when we first came, because it was a performance piece initially, there's a lot of truth in what we wrote and what we brought to each of the pieces in the story. But I do think, too, even though there are some individual things about each of us, it's something that's going to resonate with a lot of people, that are there. So, yes, I know some of the monologues and poetry pieces that really each of us wrote were definitely specifically from our lives. Mm-hmm. So we can't tell you which one. You got to come and try to figure it out.
And it is, again, it's three perspectives from three different friends. And, the beautiful thing about it is it's three. So, therefore, my hope is that it transcends to if my story, for example, does not resonate, somebody will, be resonated with through the three of us. And so it's some powerful stuff, because even I was surprised myself with some of the stuff that I was willing to be vulnerable with, how I have thought, the things that I have considered, to what extent I was, ready to expose some things. And many times we think that living in secret is supportive, and it's not. And for me personally, I feel that sometimes we have learned that, either how we've been raised on top of things that have, happened as far as in our history, and being in secret does not support, and it actually hinders. And this is just my perspective. So to be in a space to where I can be vulnerable and share, and if this message will help someone, if it's just one person, then I have done what I've been requested to do. And I'm so very grateful, because there's another side to this. And for me, it's freedom. It's freedom so that you can be present. It's freedom so that you can create differently. It's freedom of thoughts that do play. Because we
freedom
all have
so you can be at peace.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I love, and I will definitely post it on the show's page, what you just said about many times we think living in secret is supportive, but it's not.
Yeah.
Some as women, as queens, as lightresses, and I am going to start referring to myself as that.
Yes.
We think we think we have to put on this I'm strong, I can handle everything type of front for the world. And on the inside, we're really breaking. But it's easier for me to be that queen, that strong woman, than to let you know I'm hurt. I've dealt with some hurts, especially when we live in you're supposed to forgive and forget.
Yeah,
that's a whole other show. Y'all write that down. We're gonna do a show about
that.
But you're supposed to forgive and forget, and that was so long ago. And or when you talk about depression, you just said, it's almost like a secret shame for the sake of other people's sanity.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you something. You were like all over this play, Queen Valencia. We're just like, I'm just like bubbling inside, because oh my goodness, like almost to certain lines, certain things you were saying are like specific lines that are in the play. Like
Wow.
That's crazy. That's how we know like we are on the right track, because we get confirmation over and over again. That whole thing about being strong, like, oh, my goodness. I'm just excited.
That's because y'all are twins.
I get weak at carbs. I will admit that's a weakness. For instance, I have different weaknesses, and it wasn't until after I got over 35 that I was okay enough with Valencia to say, hey, I'm weak in these areas. These are some, that's not my strength. Rather than calling it a weakness, that's not my strength. Sometimes I could go in the world and operate in the world, and other times I want to withdraw from the world because the cashier at Walmart made me mad. And it's okay. I can still get mad at the world and not feel like I'm the quote-unquote angry black woman, or you haven't grown enough, or whatever else. I'm dropping the mic and walking away. Which one of y'all
Let me tell you, there is a line in the play about being an angry black woman. Like, you just don't understand.
Oh, wow. Okay, Valencia, don't say a thing.
Y'all got to come. Listen. Did you say who said they weren't sure if they were coming? Please make sure she comes. lyvonne, you have to be there. Please. It is like you will think that you wrote this play, because honestly, I'm telling you, ABW.
ABW.
Yes, it's one of the lines in the play.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that is so yummy. That is so yummy.
And I do like that. Their play, the date and time for A Journey to Unrevealed Love by Project Light is actually on that Thursday night, October the 7th from 7 to 8:30. So I did look that up because I have to be
October the 4th. October the 4th.
October the 4th. What did I say?
October 7th.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, October 4th at 7.
Yes,
so,
we want them to be there on the right day.
Yes, yes, we do. And I'm thinking I'm figuring out how I'm gonna do that. I just have to be in another place by Saturday.
Or
October
the other
4th.
option is to bring us to you, and we can perform on how we want to. So that's the other opportunity. We can just come to New Orleans and present. So that's
right. We travel now.
What?
Have life, we'll travel.
Pimp.
All right.
Hold on, Pimp. Pimp Queens waitresses. Oh, you ain't
set
saying
up
nothing
a
but a
time,
word.
a place. Yeah, we will be there. Because again, my intention. Because many times I tell my ladies intention, and we all are intention-based setters, and it's just like this can go international. So there's no limit. There's no limit. And it's
hashtag no limit, hashtag NOLA, hashtag New Orleans, hashtag we gonna talk.
Oh, all right. Hashtag okay.
Yes.
I'm thoroughly excited. And so my next question, because so many things you guys have said, and something that we do try to foster on the show is, and LaVonne mentioned it earlier, or Shannon, one of my queens, mentioned it about, basically that spirit of, collaboration, and we could bring each other up. You hold my heel, I'll hold your purse. Let's get this together.
Yes.
However, in the process of taking the different ingredients of y'all gumbo, so to speak, and putting it together, did any issues come up that you didn't realize until that point when you when you originally tried to put it together, if that makes sense?
Things flow together, so I can't think of issues. It's amazing how we took things from each of our repertoire or what we came up with. A lot of times I come up with songs when they're talking about things. Denell said something in one of our meetings, and I said, okay, I'm going to take that and write a song about it. But I just don't think there were any issues. Can you ladies think of any?
I don't think there were issues. I think one thing that kind of is good, and I think I can see how, this is, this is meant to be, is there are going to be times where we have a disagreement about something. We've never fought about anything, but even if a director might say, oh, you know what, I know, and I won't say specifically what it was, but it was a line that we came up with for the play. Kamaria had said it. She's like, oh, what about this? And I was like, not sure. I think that might not work in this space. And we there was a little space to breathe there for a minute, and then she was like, you know what, okay, you're right. And so we still allow ourselves, it's not just all like always just rainbows and marshmallows and all that. A real sisterhood is being able to pull some layers back and have it sting and be able to get through it. And there have been times, even I think we kind of learned this from Denell, is to just say, okay, received. You know what I mean? So even if you have a little bit of a difference, you still can say, you know what? I totally receive what you're saying. Instead of saying, no, you're wrong about that, or I totally disagree, we can say, well, what other way are we going to look at this? I received what you said, and now how are we going to get past this? It wasn't like necessarily, sometimes it was like content things of the play. Not really, not most of the time. But then there'll be other things, that kind of go along with this whole production, of the play that we may have had to take a little pause and say, ooh, or take a little break and then come back to it. but nothing that would ever make me say, oh, this is it. I'm done. I'm done with this. It's truly a sisterhood because, we're able to listen and, like Denell says, received, got you. All right, I got that. I received that.
And it's like, and on top of what JRenee and Kamaria are saying, it was like, when I do say receive, I'm just like, okay, so I'm always like, hey, well, what's the resolute? If it's something that we are not, in agreement, or we are having, like, the different perspectives that are going on, and I'm just like, we can have those, that's fine. But how are we going to resolve it? Because, again, this is where we're at. This is where we need to be. It was even like landing our music, like who was going to produce our music. And it's kind of funny, but we didn't want to.
Oh, yeah.
We ain't going to say no names, but we didn't necessarily want to use. We didn't want to use somebody from last year, but this person is a fabulous producer, music, stuff like that. And it was getting close to time in regards to, checkpoints or where, we need to be. And I was like, look, lady, we might have to wrap our minds up around this man and be with this dude, versus, unless we find somebody. And so that was the one example where we were having some challenges and we did have different perspectives and skill sets. So, like, for example, Kamaria, she's being very, subtle in her what she has done in her past.
God bless her.
Yes, but she is a dynamic musician and has an ear like no other. And her suggestions, and she has been the one that we go skilled to and say, hey, what's going on, or what, we need you to do this. And so we were kind of at a standstill for about 2 weeks about, like, well, who's going to do our music? And so, again, in alignment and stuff like that, someone came through. And so we each appreciate each skill set. I mean, overall, we appreciate each other, but every one of us brings a skill set. And it's just like with JRenee, I had no idea the extent that her knowledge as far as theater is concerned. Had no idea. You didn't even know what, personally what I was asking of us to do as far as submitting the script into the Atlanta Black Theater Festival, and it was just so dynamic. The whole process and procedure and whatever word that we would like to use for us to collectively come together has truly been amazing. But, that's kind of an example. And then, of course, they've been my backups when I had a complete meltdown, and this was last year when we were doing a performance and something wasn't going right on my end, and I'm in complete meltdown mode. And so they were there. And that was me a first time where I was able to be vulnerable, and I'm like, I'm not okay. This is not going right. And so that has been another example of challenges like that have been outside of Project Light, and I've been able to come to these ladies and completely just be a mess. And they're like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. You're going to be good. And I'm just like, but this ain't right. So, yeah.
Was it an ugly
crazy
cry?
I had snot coming out my nose and everything. It was ugly, that ugly cry. It was that ugly. Yeah.
That ugly.
I love that you said that, because that also probably helped to solidify y'all's connection. You know what I'm saying? Like, until you see me at a vulnerable moment and I'm comfortable enough with you to be vulnerable, that, and you see how somebody reacts to that, to me that solidifies it. Not that long ago, last month to be exact, I lost my father-in-law, and I was able to share certain things, with the queens on, via, through the inbox and stuff. And, they were very supportive and stuff like that. And it's just been a thing. And I'm like, what? I kind of love these women's more than my real sister. Yeah. And I could say that because she'll be listening to the show. So
we won't tell her. We won't tell her.
Don't tell her. Look, we don't look nothing like. People don't even know that's my real sister. People don't know. She ain't gonna know. But I do love her though. It's just different kind of love. But Queen Shannon, I know you or Queen LyVonne had a question.
Yes. Well, in Define You movement right now, we're working on setting our 19 goals before 2019. For
you got to
project,
explain it, Jenny. You just can't say that.
So it's where we set goals that'll propel us and get us ready for 2019. So what 19 things could we do before getting to 2019 that'll set us in line for where we're going in 2019? And it just made me think, like, for, Project Light, what should we look for in 2019?
Wow.
Great question.
I know, that is a good question. Because we've sat a couple times and tried to decide what it is exactly we want to do in 2019 and how we want to move forward. Because we've always said it's not just about this play, that we are a collective and an initiative that we want to be able to pour into some other entities that also support and empower women. So we talked about some type of a fundraiser, another event, of course, a play. Well, one, we'd like to tour with A Journey to Unrevealed Love. And so we're looking into how we can do that and how to make that happen. And beyond that, I think we're going to have to take 19 things before 2019 initiatives and figure out, honestly, lay those things down that we want to do in order to elevate Project Light.
We have had
possibly recording some of the songs as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we definitely would like to have the songs that you will present or experience October 4th be in full song and on album. So as we continue to travel, and we have talked about some things, even hosting events where it's supportive to women. And, again, using the art or celebrating the art. But we are not definitive as that, but it's definitely been a brainstorming. So probably after the play, because it's definitely been where we've been focused on the presentation and developing the script. And, y'all, it has been some work, producing this whole production. And so definitely after October, we told ourselves that we're going to give ourselves a month, but definitely plan for the 2019 year. But two of the things that both JRenee and Kamaria shared, those are definitely 1 and 2 on that 19 list. So,
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm going to hold y'all. That's Shannon is so thorough. And how the challenge started, and this is in our private Facebook group, Define You Movement, where, the three of us are in there. And Shannon started this last year, which it makes sense because a lot of times people focus so much on, setting goals for 2019, which is great. I'm an advocate of goal setting, of course, but not wait until 2019 to start on them. Like, there's always something you could do now. Like, one of my goals, and I'm going to just be honest, is to save more money. And one of the things I could do this year is actually work on my wig buying habit, because that would save money. That's something, like I could start.
Okay, and you're able to name it specifically. That's right.
Right. I'm so before, next year I could say, okay, Valencia, your wig allowance is this much, and I could start that now because I have a problem. I have that's why my hair is different on every picture.
I love it.
Right. I will, see a video and be like, that's a wig. Let me see if I can find it. But I know in order to save more money in 2019, these are certain actions that I can implement in 2018. I'm so proud of Shannon. Baby sister stepping up.
I love how you are starting before the end of December. Because it really does take planning and setting intention and knowing where you would like to see yourself in space. And people do wait towards December. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm a firm believer, especially now, you can change at any moment.
your thought process can change at a matter of you willing to change it. So even you having that experience of listing your 19 items, those changes can happen towards the end of the year. So it's just like we're creating an experience, and if we're willing to be able to put the work behind it and clear up the thoughts and have constructive thoughts, shout out to my visions who are out there, it's one of those things where you have the opportunity every moment to be different. And so that's why I appreciate you sharing that. Like, it's starting now.
That's good. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! We try to do stuff in the group and lead by example. And I'm a very, all of us queens are very honest and transparent, because that's really, when you could help other women or even men, children, so on and so forth, is you being honest, about different things, no matter how funny it is or how serious it is looking at, okay, I want to write a book next year. Next year is my year to write a book. So I will say, okay, so how about this year you start with something, what's the book going to be about? Can you outline it this year? So that way, people just, I want to save $1 million. Okay, well, let's start with, how can you do something this year? If it's watching videos for 30 days or whatever, or reading books for 30 days of, how to make more money and how to, different, it's like there's always something you could do now towards those future goals. And a lot of times I think is women, because we're so consumed with our day-to-day queenness, and sometimes that crown gets heavy because we have, big visions and big dreams, but at the same time we carry the weight of the world, sometimes forgetting ourselves. #amen. I don't like this professional version of Clinton. I don't like her. Where did she come from? That scared me. Like I'm channeling my grandmother or something going on.
That's Valencia with the slacks on.
That's what it is. Lyvonne had me deal with some slacks here. That was her thing, was to go get some slacks, and I did tell her I'm knock-kneed. Knock-kneed people always wear slacks. Oh my God. That's a whole other show, but it was a debate between us about me wearing getting slacks because I'm a child advocate here in Louisiana, and I'm gonna have to I go to court, and that on top of something else I was doing, and Lyvonne was like, you should get some slacks. I'm like, do you not know I'm knock-kneed? Like, I'm sure there's laws against That's my 2 cents. Before we close out this hour that flew by and was wonderful amongst wonderful, I do want to, this is one of those part 2 shows. I do want to say how much we have definitely appreciated you queens, you lightresses, coming on and sharing your stories from how you met to now, things we have to look forward to in 2019. Me being able to know the words of the song so I could sing in the audience. I'm just saying.
Don't
now,
play them. Email them tonight.
I'll
track the lyrics now. Track the lyrics.
I will.
They have no idea what they're getting themselves into.
That's all I was going to say. Y'all better be careful. Careful how you think me and Shannon got on here.
Oh, my God.
Hold on. We're going to have an inbox. Now, I had you queens send me some of your favorite quotes. And I want to ask this question about the Maya Angelou quote, or I'm going to say it and then y'all could tell me your thoughts on it. I think this is a great way to sum up our night. Yes, all of us had a little Moscato tonight before the show. I stand as one. I stand as 10,000. Talk to me about that.
Well, I was the one that shared that quote. Because when you as a woman, you represent so much. And to decide to be a woman when you go through the process, you're not standing alone. We have been taught that we are out here doing stuff, or maybe I should say and I took on this perception that I have to do stuff alone, that I'm here alone, and I got to make life, and it be great, and I have to show that I can do it myself. Yo, I stand so tall, and I have 10,000 plus behind me rooting me on. And that's from on this physical plane as well as the spiritual plane. I come as so many, and the people that have raised me, and the people who have influenced me, and the people that have just spoke words of kindness to me, because I was so in my head at some point in my life, and so just downtrodden. But I stand, amongst this collective, amongst my sisters, the Lightresses, amongst you, as 10,000 plus. And even those that I have not met and those that I will meet, I stand here looking as one person, but I stand as many. So that's such a very, for me, a powerful quote. And I use that quote in my poetry book because we stand as so many if we really, really sit and reflect and be with ourselves. And, I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah.
Jesus.
That was powerful.
And you know what? I never heard of that quote before y'all sent it to me. That's. I'm gonna start telling people that. I'm also gonna start telling people when there's a quote unquote disagreement or an issue or we just not vibing. I'm just gonna start telling people received.
Exactly.
I love that.
Instead of giving them the hand,
But wait, the way Valencia's receipt is going to come out, it's not going to be the same way.
Right. So you got to know. Right. You got to be careful. But what that does, it indicates a form of listening as well as hearing. That's what we say. That's what we say.
Hers is going to come out as if I'm done with this. I'm done. That's how hers is going to come out.
Right.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it with my husband when we get to talking about some of the Pinterest projects I have waiting on him when he get home, and when he get to saying stuff, and I'm gonna just say received. Now, can you spray paint this pumpkin? Shannon, Queen Shannon and Queen Lyvonne, is there anything you guys would like to close out and say before we end tonight's extra live show?
I'm just
excited
see it.
I am too.
To see, yes, I'm so excited, and I really, really enjoyed you, ladies. You can tell that your love and connection is genuine. There's nothing forced. There's nothing phony about it, and I can feel that, and I just totally enjoyed your energy and your passion. So I'm looking forward to seeing your monologues and hear, because I love me some good singing. So I'm looking forward to all
right
of that. Can't wait.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having
Lyvonne.
us.
I'm also excited just about everything and what's to come. And I love that quote. I think that sums up exactly what the Lightresses are about. It just reminds me of something that I heard Ayana say. It's not that I'm my sister's keeper, but that I am my sister. And I think you all have really represented that I am my sister. You know, we're in this together. So let's stand and put our crowns on together and let our light shine together. So, ladies, I'm looking forward to seeing your now and your next.
Oh, thank you.
Oh. And I just, you know, for me personally, I just thank you for entrusting us to come to your show. I thank you from the bottom of our heart, because this started out as an idea, a thought. And I appreciate the walk, and I appreciate you extending, you know, the invite. And you have been a part of our community. You are our community. So I'm very grateful. And I know my other ladies are, so yeah.
Yes, absolutely. It was an incredible energy. So we love the energy that we were met with and the light that we were met with. So much openness. And so all went well. It was awesome. We thank you.
Oh, well, we here at Define You Radio, look, this is a professional side. We do believe in, you know, empowering queens and you know, just doing queen-like stuff. Even if we happen to have a king on, it's that internal royalty that we all carry. And I'm just eternally grateful for, you know, the different people that, you know, the moves God has made with connecting me with different queens like my co-hosts and with queens like you, and definitely with ABTF. I'm excited just about the things going on there. And so, you know, I think I've had quite enough professionalism for tonight. I'm scaring myself. That's how you know I didn't take a nap today or too much coffee, one of the two. Kings and queens, it has been a great show. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you connect with Project Light. Make sure you get your tickets to Atlanta Black Theater Festival. All information will definitely be posted on Define You Radio's Facebook page. You can find out more about the beautiful lightresses at projectlightatl.com, but that will also be posted on the show's page. Y'all have it's been a awesome show. I'm really proud of everybody, the connection, and you know, who knows, maybe next time we'll go live, Facebook Live in Atlanta. Me singing, it's, you know, I throw stuff out there.
That's
ain't
right.
no telling when I get carbs in my system. Ain't no telling what might happen. And
true.
Ladies, if y'all want, I gave the website, but if y'all want to go ahead and give your other information so the guests can connect with you on social media, for those that are listening and happen not to be on social media or somewhere else, if y'all could give all your contact information and everything, please.
Okay.
So,
well,
as you said, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead, Denell.
Okay, so we are Project Light. We are Project Light Performance Collective. We do have a phone number, 770-765-7115. Again, that's 770-765-7115. And you can find all our information on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, The Lightresses, Gmail, The Lightresses. And we also have the website, like was shared earlier, www.projectlightatl.com. Yes. Is there more?
And on that website is a link to the tickets. If they'll be in the Atlanta area October the 4th, our show is 7 p.m. at the Porter Sanford Performing Arts Center.
Yay, and Define You Radio will be in the building for sure. With you know, we're going to be in the building and take in, you know, some of the queen light. Like, I just feel so blessed. And guys, let's be honest, Atlanta is around the corner. I don't care if you're in Canada or Africa or whatever. Have passport, we'll travel. If you've never been to the U.S., this is the time to come, you know. So with that being said, pens and papers down, class is officially over. Make sure you are connected with tonight's guest and the show, and, of course, my queen co-host / sister / accountability partners, drill sergeants, all of the above. Until next time, remember your past doesn't define you. It gives you definition, and what you do with that is entirely up to you. Have a great night.
Thank you for listening to Define You Radio. Make sure you connect with the show on Define You Radio's Facebook page or visit valencia-griffin-wallace.com.